Hello, welcome back. I'm Yahsarah, and today, oh my god, I'm going to read The Empire of the Vampire by Jay Kristoff. Finally! Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. You cannot believe. I'm so excited. My expectations are skyrocketing high. Really. They're so high. I have read other books by Jay Kristoff. I have read Nevernight, all three. And for me, they were life-changing. They were so brilliant. I loved the character dynamics. I loved all the characters. I loved how they were not really good persons. I loved the perspective out of which the story was told. I loved the whole book. It was a completely perfect package. And now I'm going to read The Empire of the Vampire. I've waited all the time because it's a trilogy again, and yeah, I have to wait until all of them are kind of published in order to start reading. And I think the last one comes out in March, so I'm okay. March is already soon. I do not want to do a lot of spoilers in this reading vlog. This time, really, I promise. I just want to outline you the story a bit, give you some facts, show you how I am reading and how long I take. I'm planning to read this book very slowly in order to enjoy it properly, maybe 100 pages a day, but maybe I will not manage it because Jay Kristoff is so fascinating that I will read it in one day. The possibility is there, but still my plan is actually to read it very slowly. I'm so excited. I don't know anything about the book. I know it's about vampires because the title is The Vampire of the Empire, and there should be an empire. In Nevernight's also an empire. Also, I read Nevernight, I think 2020, so ages ago, but I still know so much of it. And if I get anything similar with the Empire of the Vampire, the Nevernight, then I'm completely flashed and happy. I wanted to tell you what I expect. I expect a dark story, very detailed descriptions of everything. I expect proper fantasy, dark. Is dark fantasy a term you can say? But this is what I expect. Something cruel. Shall we check out Goodreads together? I don't know actually if that's a good idea, but now I have my laptop here. Maybe I should have prepared it. I didn't. Before I forget again, please like this video and subscribe. Oh god. Maybe I should do a little poster up on my wall. Don't forget to tell them to like a video and to subscribe. Maybe I will not forget it then. The chance will decrease then. The Empire of the Vampire. Also, this book, they are not that popular, I think, are they? Are they also on TikTok trending? I don't think so. I have never in the bookshop. There's always this table with BookTok books. I have never seen this book up on this BookTok books. Even I saw Empire of the Vampire. They did not even sold it. Last time I was in a bookshop, I was so shocked. This is one of the best books I've read, I assume. So, The Empire of the Vampire, Volume 1. Do you like the British cover or the UK cover more? I think I like this one more. It's more detailed, I think. Oh my gosh. It's so beautiful cover. Is this a cat in the front? Or a Waschbär? And there's a snake and a bird and wolf. And there's so much blood. And there's a black-haired guy and he has tattoos and a sword. He looks brutal. He must be the main guy. Now I just read Oh no, wait. It has 4.33 stars. Maybe after this reading vlog you all get reading it and then do 5-star reviews and then it will increase. Maybe. It has 86,912 ratings and 30,027 reviews. Just out of curiosity, how much rating and reviews has any book? A Court of Thorns and Roses? 3 million. It's 3,915,718 ratings and winner of the Goodreads Choice Award. Yeah, let's not talk about that. The summary. From Holy Cup comes holy light. The faithful hand sets world all right. And in the 7 martyrs' sight, mere man shall end this endless night. It has been 27 long years since the last sunrise. Ooh, a never night? The sun never set. Oh, there were even, I think, 3 suns in the sky. It was... Maybe I should just stop swooning about never night. For nearly 3 decades, vampires have waged war against humanity, building their eternal empire even as they tear down our own. Now, only a few tiny sparks of light endure in a sea of darkness. Gabriel de Leon is a silver sign, a member of a holy brotherhood dedicated to defending realm and church from the creatures of the night. But even the Silver Order could not stem the tide once daylight failed us, and now only Gabriel remains. Imprisoned by the very monsters he vowed to destroy, the last Silver Saint is forced to tell his story. A story of legendary battles and forbidden love, of faith lost and friendships won, of the wars of the blood, and the forever king and the quest for humanity's last remaining hope. The Holy Grail. From the author Jay Kristoff comes Empire of the Vampire, the first illustrated volume of astonishing new dark fantasy saga. What do they mean with illustrated? There's an illustrator named Bon Orthwick. What does this mean? It was published in 2021. It has 739 pages. I think I decided now I want to read the English edition, because the German edition has 1000 pages somewhat. I think 1000 pages and 200. Why does the German language must have so long words? Oh, here's also the other cover, The Convicted. Oh, the other cover also has so much details. I see now there are angels and wolves. And there's also Holy Grail and snakes. Why are there so much animals? I know from Nevernight that the cover, after I read the book and then looked at the cover, it was so detailed. And through the story, I think there was always Mia upon it, and there were also shadows in her background. And if you read the book, you know, and she was always having a mask, and the mask was at one point described in the book because she was truly wearing it, and she had kind of a weapon. She was also truly using it, and in the background you could always see some symbols, and they were also at some point in the book. So there are a lot of animals, so something I think animalistic is happening in the book. Oh, I'm so excited! Genres: fantasy, vampires, horror, fiction, paranormal, adult, audiobook. Audiobook is a genre of what? Dark fantasy? I questioned if dark fantasy is really a genre, but yeah. High fantasy. Sure. Yeah, we will not read the reviews. I already saw one star review. never read Goodreads reviews. First, they spoil you. Second, they're not neutral. No, reviews are never neutral, but the Goodreads reviews are just strange and they destroy your reading experience completely. There, the cover from my ebook version. Oh, beautiful. The book is bloody brilliant by V.E. Schwab. Take hold of my hand, for you are no longer alone. Walk with me in hell. Mark Morton. A map, a beautiful map, in the sight of God and the 7 martyrs. I do hear woe. Let the dark know my name and despair. So long as it burns, I am the flame. So long as it bleeds, I am the blade. So long as it sins, I am the saint. And I am silver. The woe of Saint Michon. Ask me not if God exists, but why he's such a prick. Okay, with this first sentence, you already get the mood of the book. That's his vibe. That's Jay Kristoff vibe. Dark fantasy. Everything is dark. Everything is brutal. Everything is mystic and world building. Let us cut again. Ask me not if God exists, but why he's such a prick. Even the greatest of fools can deny the existence of evil. We dwell in its shadow every day. The best of us rise above it. The worst of us swallow it whole. But we all of us wade hip deep through it, every moment of our lives. Curses and blessings fall on the cruel and just alike. For every prayer heeded, 10,000 go unanswered. And saints suffer alongside the sinners, pray for monsters spat straight from the belly of hell. But if there's hell, mustn't there also be heaven? And if there's a heaven, then can't we ask it why? Because if the Almighty is willing to put an end to all this wickedness, but somehow unable to do so, then he's not as almighty as the priests would have you believe. If he's both willing and able to put paid to it all, how can this evil exist in the first place? And if he's neither willing nor able to lay it to rest, then he's no good at all. The only possibility remaining is that he can stop it. He simply chooses not to. The children snatched from parents' arms, the endless plains of unmarked graves, the deathless dead who hunt us in the light of a blackened sun. Vampires, I assume. We are brain now, mon ami. We are food. And he never lifted a fucking finger to stop it. He could have. He just didn't. Do you ever wonder what we did to make him hate us so? I like it. So, I will not read you through the first chapter. No. But the first sentence, I must say, it's called Sunset. I don't want to read a book about a heroine who can do everything and lives in a world and must do an adventure to save the world. And the world is good and actually does not need saving, but sunset. It all makes sense. But I will read you the first sentence. It was the 27th year of Dave's death in the realm of the Forever King, and his murderer was waiting to die. His murderer is Gabriel de Leon, I suppose. And he is waiting to die. And he will, in the future, kill the Forever King. The killer stood watch at a thin window, impatient for his end to arrive. Tattooed hand were clasped at his back, stained with dried blood and ashes pale as the starlight. His room stood high in the reaches of a lonely tower kissed by sleepless mountain windows. The door was ironclad, heavy, looked like a secret. From his vantage, the killer watched the sun sink toward an unread street. Oh god, I must stop now. Okay, I'll read now a bit and then I'll update you, okay? Later, bye. Love you. Oh gosh. Oh gosh, oh gosh, oh gosh, oh gosh, I'm so excited. Now I know why they say it's illustrated. There are pictures in it. Look, 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 look. Do you see the pictures? Do you see it? This picture. That's our main character. That's Gabriel de Leon. And he has like scars beneath his eyes. And he has black hair. And he looks odd. He's muscular. He's a killer. He's a murderer. So I've got it now. I'm on page 50 somewhat. And it's completely different than I expected. I know in Evernight we had a storyteller, a perspective out of which the story was told from someone who knows everything. But here's not the case. It's a dialogue. It's fascinating. It's so cool. I love it. Gabriel, he is in a cell. We don't know yet why. He was kind of captured, I think. And then a vampire comes. And yes, it's already said Gabriel is waiting for his death. But the vampire is kind of a scholar and he wants Gabriel to tell his story. So they sit down and Gabriel, of course, does not want to say anything, especially because he assumes they just want to know about the Holy Grail. I have no idea what that is, but this must be something very powerful, a very powerful object. And the vampire king or queen wants to have it. And Gabriel says no. And then we find out that he's a drug addict. I think that's kind of normal for his book. Like Mia was also a drug addict, but he's very, 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 very. So the vampire gave him a bit of drugs and he agreed then. And then the story starts with book 1. And Gabriel starts to tell us his story. And it's just not like he starts telling like, when I was a kid, this happened. And then slowly the dialogue, the scene fades away. And we have normal perspective of the past. No, he tells us all the time, I have done this and it was so bloody, I don't know what, and I have done this and it was glorious, and my father was like this and I've never understood this, and my mother, he was such a strong-hearted woman and I always loved her, and I had 2 sisters, and then this happened and I couldn't believe it, and I suddenly find out like all this time, but the dialogue's written so well, so it feels so real, like he's talking with me. The scholar is writing everything down. And it makes sense with the pictures because while the scholar's also writing down, he's also drawing Gabriel and the stuff he's telling. Yeah, and basically the story, Gabriel grows up in this empire with I think 5 kingdoms in the north, and he had a really brutal childhood. His father was not the best. His mother was a former royal. I don't want to say so much about it. And suddenly, one time, I think when he was 13, the sun never came out again. Or was a dim candlelight on the sky. And then there came drought, and everyone was hungry, and famine. Imagine the sun never coming out again. Everyone would look like a vampire. Eventually. Yeah. They had at first no encounter with vampires, but then suddenly vampire came. And he somehow found out that something is also wrong with him. He has abilities others have not. And it's very religious also. They're always talking about the Almighty. And yeah, I also read book 2 and book 3 and book 5, and all the time he's telling a story. And I don't know yet if it will continue like this. If at one time he say stop, okay, I've just told you now my life. We are now at the now in the timeline. And who then? Okay, maybe the person who is telling us the story of how he tells the story, the scholar will then continue to tell us the future story. But who is this? Okay. Don't think so deeply about it, Yahsarah. Just yeah, of course. Okay. Where was I? I think the first book, maybe he'll just tell us the story, and then in the second and the third book, a change of perspective. Oh, I cannot wait. Yeah, basically, his past story is not boring. No. So much adventures. I can already see it. Like now he found out like he is kind of chosen. Everything which I say basically is in the first chapter. He's kind of chosen for a group who is fighting against vampires, like Silver Saints, and he goes there now with them, and at the end of somewhere around page 50. The question is, are the vampires that bad, or are the Silver Saints bad? Or the proper question is, are they all bad? They must. Yeah, that's like, because the humans, they're also not really, and the Silver Saints, bit stranger there. But the vampires are monsters. That's what he's always saying. You monster, you cold blood. A lot of synonyms of vampires. You get a lot of synonyms of vampires. Am I looking forward to continue it? Yes. So, I must read now. Further. Is there anything I still want to say? Basically, Gabriel tells us a story, and he knows he'll die after he's finished, so maybe he'll also trick it out. But we know from the first sentence that he will not die. He will kind of murder the vampire king or queen. So here, a second coffee while drinking Empire of the Vampire. It's a beautiful cup. I've made it myself on my birthday, on my 18th. It was not my 18th birthday, my 19th birthday. The book is brutal. I'm at 50, randomly kind of at 50% now, and I've taken some notes, and at the moment it works quite well to read it rather slowly, because I'm just so afraid. I know I kind of have the feeling like everyone is going to die, and I care about everyone. Normally when I read a book, or most of the time when I read a book, I don't care about the characters. If they die, I don't care. But right now, I have a feeling that his mother is going to die. I have this feeling that Astrid is going to die. I have this feeling that Chloe is going to die. Even the horse died. I was so sad when the horse died, and it was just introduced in 2 pages, and I was so sad that the horse died. That was too much for me. And I also think that he is going to die, and every vampire is also going to die. I care so much about every character, and I know already that they're all going to die, and I'm so afraid to read further. I don't know what happens, but something dramatic is going to happen. I thought at first that there's this Gabriel de Lyon, and he has this conversation with the scholar vampire, and Gabriel tells his own story. I thought at first that's going to be chronologically, but Gabriel has his own minds, and he tells basically the vampire, I don't care what you want from me, I tell my story how I want to do it. So there is these time jumps, and Gabriel has opened 2 storylines. At first he tells chronologically from like his birth, his youth, how he became a soldier, a great soldier and a legend. And in this storyline he's full of hope and full of adventures, and he really wants to defeat the vampires and has this faith in God, and he wants to become a legend. He wants to best everyone. Like, he's a proper young boy who believes he can do everything if you just work hard enough for it. And he wants to be a hero. And then we have this other storyline where he's like, it's 17 years after the other storyline where he's young and he's just a wreck and he hates the world and he hates everything, and something happened between, and you just wait until these 2 storylines meet each other, and then the last storyline meets the present where Gabriel is telling his story. Do you get what you mean? Like, you have 3 timelines, and it's so cleverly done. You just don't notice that you have 3 timelines actually. And like, in the present, Gabriel is even more pissed and broken than in the second timeline. What happens in the second timeline? What happens in the first timeline that he gets to be in the state of the second timeline? You know, the Christmas Carol? The old man, the old grumpy man. Exactly. That's its character. He's an old grumpy man in the second timeline. And then the third also. And he curses so much, and I'm fine with this time. This is because it matches his character. And he's the only one who curses that much, not every character. And you know, in the second timeline, he is the hero and the legend. He wants to be in the first one, but he hates it. And he doesn't want to have any praise. He just wants to be left alone and have no human interactions. That's everything I want to say without spoilers, because now 1, 2, 3 spoilers. Okay, let's go. Now, not that big of a spoiler. I just want to explain that the Silver Saints, they are half vampires. That's the reason why they're so powerful and good warriors. Because they inherit some vampire traits like strength. And Gabriel, he has... Why I say Gabriel? There's French in the books. His name is Gabriel. So Gabriel, we don't know what kind of magical power he inherited from his father. Okay, my camera died shortly, but now I'm back. So where was I? He is a frail blood. He was thought of a frail blood, but in fact he has like this magical power, and he can bring blood to boiling, and even vampire can even hurt vampires like this, even though vampires can only be hurted by silver or fire or daylight. But you remember, there is no daylight anymore. And Sanctus, that is like this drug, there's the reason why they're addicted, because these half vampires, they still need blood, but they can just smoke vampire blood and it's enough for them. It's not as pleasurable as blood it is, but they are confident with it without the need of killing humans. But we don't know if they also can make other vampires. If a vampire bites, drinks from a human, there's either a chance they become a high blood vampire, a highborn, and these are clever, they still have a mind of their own, they are very powerful, they're very hard to kill, or they become wretched, and these wretched, they are just mindless, a zombie wandering about and controlled completely by bloodlust. And this vampire, the high blood vampires, since their death, they have built armies of Ratchet. Before the daylight disappeared, Ratchet immediately died because they had no sense of self-preservation and just died when the sun came because they did not sought shelter. And we have a talking sword. Like in the second timeline, the sword of Gabriel, is there a human inside of it? I don't understand it. Why is a sword talking? And the sword gives advice, and the sword tells basically Gabriel to do stuff or to kill people, and he's always complaining. And basically Gabriel is arguing with the sword. What happened to what kind of sword is this? Who is in the sword? There must be a person inside imprisoned, but I cannot imagine. And I also want to show you a picture. And he has a daughter. He's a father. In the third timeline, we find out he's a father, and his daughter is called Patience. He also has a tattoo on his forehand, and Patience, that is the name of his father. He cannot die. His daughter cannot die, please. There's also this one picture. You see it. And you see the birthmark here above her lips. That is Astrid, and she has claws. And I think Astrid will become a vampire. I'm suffering. Do you hear that? I'm suffering. They cannot die. Not everyone. I've read Nevernight, and in Nevernight I also thought everyone died. Not everyone died. And I thought there will be no happy ending. In the end, I got a happy ending. So that was pretty good. But even if they die, I think they might also become vampires. But I just know that Gabriel's mother will die soon, and his baby sister will also die. I'm getting a headache. Okay, I must stop now. And I'll read a bit more and suffer a bit more. Bye. Give me a great insight what this book is about, and did you like it? Did you curious now what's going on? I finished it and I adore it and I love it, and I was so fascinated by the end. I really absorbed all the pages left, and I would recommend it to everyone, though it is a quite long book and a lot of things happen, and I would definitely say that it's quite brutal and a lot of cruel and a lot of people die. And if you don't like reading about people dying or people not having arms or people hacking limbs off, you might want to consider to read another book. Still, soon is Halloween, and this is also kind of the perfect book for Halloween, isn't it? I want to end this video with a short reminder that in my whole life, really, truly, I have never regretted having done something, but always not having done something. And I think that is really true. Always, always. If you're afraid of starting something new, if you're afraid to talking to a foreigner, to a stranger, then consider for a moment. At the end of the day, when you're lying in bed trying to fall asleep, you don't think about things you've done, but really more about things you could have done. And you don't want to feel this regret. It's really one of the most annoying feelings in the world. And yes, that's it. I wish you a lovely day, and I hope everything goes well in your life. I would really appreciate a subscribe and a thumbs up, and happy autumn!